Yes, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my weekly technical analysis. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts. All right, now we're starting off on a daily time frame for the Russell 2000, looking at some small cap stocks. You can see that we have come down to this new support line in at about 1735, moved up to the top of our channel at 1923, rejected off, kind of found some support around this intersection between our pink line, our 200 moving average, and this blue line, our 50 moving average. Got a nice pushback off of that, and so we'll see this week if we move back up into this 1923 level, and at that point if we break out or reject back off. Your guess is as good as mine. One kind of interesting thing to note is we do kind of have this interesting confluence that's about to happen between all three of my moving averages, which is the 200, that's the pink line, the 50 moving average, the blue line, and then the 20, which is this purple line. You can see that we are about to have kind of a triple intersection here. That's quite bullish to me. That would be very strange if price action managed to break all three of those moving averages at the same time. Let's jump over into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ kind of built a little bit of sideways action along the bottom of our triangle. I'll zoom out really quick. We got this big descending triangle happening. So you can see we kind of built a little bit of sideways action before moving back up. Kind of ran into some resistance around, what is this, 11,650, call it. Moved down just a little bit and now moving back up. I'm not counting this as a touch on this downward trend line, so I think that probably very early on in the week, perhaps Monday, perhaps Tuesday, we will see that interaction with the downward trend line. That is something I'd like to watch. I am expecting price action to move in a downward direction back towards the bottom of this channel. But of course, anything could happen, pretty early on in the week. I would say not going past Wednesday, I would expect us to run into this trend line and then start pushing off in a downwards direction. But at least for this week, I'm expecting to come touch this level, kind of peak out around 770, 780 or so, and then start pushing back down in a downwards direction. Let's go ahead and jump over into the Dow Jones. Just like I kind of said previously, the Dow moved right back up into this resistance level at 34,345, and then you can see just really nasty days. Got slapped straight back down to the bottom of our green channel here, and now we are moving back up. So it kind of seems like a little bit of consolidating happening on the Dow, which is fine. That's, perfectly fine with me. I was expecting that after this massive move from October of 2022 to November of 2022. Huge move. We did kind of need this little bit of consolidation. And so if we move back up, zooming in just a little bit, if we regain our 20 moving average and our 50 moving average and climb back up to this resistance line at 345, I would like to see some type of bounce off of it, catching these moving averages, and then a breakthrough. So that would be what I'm looking for in more of a medium, 3 to 4 weeks out. And just this week, what I'd like to see is to regain the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average. If we reject back off, if we get slapped out of the supply zone, I'd like to see us catch a lift on our 200 moving average. Now, the trade of the week is going to be PayPal Holdings. Let's go ahead and draw out some lines and I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, so what I've actually drawn out here is another descending triangle. You can see we have this big trend line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll even call this 6 touches on it currently. So just recently, we kind of came up, rejected off, caught a lift off of our 20-day moving average and are moving back up. So the trade idea is this. We're going to look for a break of this trend line in an upwards direction. I'm expecting us to bounce off of this 200-day moving average, just like we did back here at the end of November. come back down, find some retest on this trend line, and then big break up. I would say take profit would probably be this recent swing high around 102, something around there. You could also set maybe even this gap fill. Let's actually zoom out to the weekly, see if we can kind of identify some trends here. Big fair value gap here, so that's something to keep an eye on. I would say the 200 weekly average at about 156, somewhere between 150 and 156. I might go to the low on this wick was 152, so that's almost 100% move you could potentially be looking at here. Entering to, yeah, you could be looking at about 85%. This is going to be obviously a much longer term swing trade. This is not going to happen in 1 day or 1 week. But I think that if you have the patience and kind of hold on to this trade and let it play out and let price action do your favor. I mean, we really don't have any levels until about that 150. And honestly, looking at this, I think even 177 is a stronger resistance level. So if you are a little bit more risk tolerant and you wanted to hold on until about 175, 177, you could potentially double your money on this trade. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy this immediately or what you should do with your money. This is just what I happen to see looking at this market. But I do think that, you know, this 150 is going to be a safer level, 150 to 155. If you are a little bit more risk tolerant, you could set it as high as, you know, about 177, potentially even 180. I would be looking to enter probably somewhere around $80, $81, even as high as $82, $83, I think would be pretty solid entries. Keeping a close eye on how price action does interact with this 200-day moving average and the 50-week average as well. But for downside protection, obviously it's just going to be right below this support line here. So you set it about 66, I would think is a pretty good level. So you're entering at, call it 80, stop loss is at 66. So you've got that $14 stop, and you're looking to take, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of $80 to $100 on this trade. So phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal risk to reward ratios. But watch how price action plays out this week. I would expect the break to come this week. If we do reject off, I would once again wait for a lift on this 20 moving average. If we can hold the 50, that's even better. Great. You might see both of them kind of act in confluence and lift price action higher through this. There's lots of ways this could play out, but definitely wait for a break. I would expect a rejection off the 200-day moving average. Retest this trend line. If we don't hold this trend line, this is not a viable trade. Wait for the hold, wait for it to start moving back up. That's when you enter. And I think that you have a really, really great opportunity sitting in front of you. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much. You're the best. Make sure you go hit that subscribe button. Go smash that like button. Show me some love. You guys are the best. Peace out.